Hello Taurus, and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. Boing, 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 boing. My name is Andres, and I'll be the one taking care of you for this reading. So I will be receiving the help from these three homies. They're some very good homies. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Alright. And since we're learning the ways of the Ultra Instinct, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with your inner voice, Taurus. The number 2. The inner voice. So the first thing I'm getting is, since this is called the inner voice, then there's a distinction between the inner voice and the outer voice. And this is the number 2, which if we take into account the tree of life, the 1 is the everything, and then 2 is the reflection of it all, or at least the start of the reflection. So the inner voice sounds like there's a reflection from the outer voice. The inner voice speaks not in words, but in the wordless language of the heart. It is like an oracle who only speaks the truth. If it had a face, it would be like the face at the center of this card, alert, watchful, and able to accept both the dark and the light, symbolized by the 2 hands holding the crystal. The crystal itself represents the clarity that comes from transcending all dualities. So just how since we called it the inner voice, then the duality is means there's an outer voice. So this inner voice, from our perspective, is the inner voice, but it sounds like this is the only voice. The inner voice can also be playful as it dives deep into the emotions and emerges again to soar towards the sky. It dives deep and it soars towards the sky. Like 2 dolphins dancing in the waters of life. That is who your inner voice is. The one that has seen it all. It is connected with the cosmos through the crescent moon crown and the earth as represented by the green leaves on the figure's kimono. There are times in our lives when too many voices seem to be pulling us this way and that. The outer voices. Our very confusion in such changes is a reminder to seek silence and centering within. Only then are we able to hear our truth. That's the only important thing is our truth, not the truth that you get from the outside. If you have found your truth within yourself, there is nothing more in this whole existence to find. Truth is functioning through you. When you open your eyes, it is truth opening his eyes. When you close your eyes, it is truth who is closing its eyes. This is a tremendous meditation. If you can simply understand the device, you don't have to do anything. Whatever you are doing is being done by truth. You are walking, it is truth. You are sleeping, it is truth resting. You are speaking, it is truth speaking. You are silent, it is truth that is silent. This is one of the most simple meditation techniques. Slowly, slowly, everything settles by this simple formula, and then there is no need for the technique. When you are cured, you throw away the meditation, you throw away the medicine. Then you live as truth, alive, radiant, contented, blissful, a song unto yourself. Your whole life becomes a prayer, without any words, or better to say, a prayerfulness, a grace, a beauty which does not belong to our mundane world, a ray of light coming from the beyond into the darkness of our world. Thunderbolt. Interesting. Notice how there's a person watching in the background in both of these cards. And this is 2 major arcana, which means that sometimes we are in control of what's happening and we can do something about it, and other times we are not in control and life is kind of happening to us. So it looks like these moments it's time for you to sit back and relax and listen to yourself, to that inner voice, because apparently it wants to be heard. And we have Thunderbolt, which I believe is the Tower card, number 16. The card shows a tower being burned, destroyed, blown apart. A man and a woman are leaping from it not because they want to, but because they have no choice. In the background is a transparent meditating figure representing the witnessing consciousness. So that's repeated now. So that's super important right now for you to represent the witnessing consciousness of whatever is going on right now. It's gonna be better if you just enjoy the ride. Like in a roller coaster, you don't control anything in a roller coaster. You're just in it for the ride. You're in it for the fun. So see what the ride is doing right now, and just watch it, and don't try to change anything. Just watch. You might be feeling pretty shaky right now, as if the earth is rocking beneath your feet. Your sense of security is being challenged, and the natural tendency is to try to hold on to whatever you can. But this inner earthquake is both necessary and tremendously important. If you allow it, you will emerge from the wreckage stronger and more available for new experiences. After the fire, the earth is replenished. After the storm, the air is clear. Try to watch the destruction with detachment, almost as if it were happening to somebody else. Say yes to the process by meeting it halfway. And so tower moments aren't ever a bad thing. It may seem to, for us, like a bad thing, but I mean, if you're doing something incorrectly for a while, isn't it better for you to, like, not do that and do it correctly, in the future? So this when the tower is happening, this is kind of life kind of reacting to an improvement that you made that, if you have an improvement and you set a part of yourself aside, then life is also going to set aside a part of your life that you don't need anymore, so that you can, sometimes you dive deep down, and then sometimes you go up and fly towards the sky. What meditation does slowly. So go slow, go slower. Don't rush. Especially, I think, maybe thinking about what's going on. Don't rush into a certain point of view, or don't get stuck in one way of thinking about whatever situation is going on. If you kind of go with the flow and keep mending whatever thinking is going on with whatever is going on, I think it'll help you understand. Eventually, there's some sorrow, going through some hard times, Taurus, huh? So listen to the inner voice. Take it slower. So imagine I ask you what 2 + 2 is. You can respond right away 4. Obviously, we all know 4 right away, But what I want you to do is ask yourself what 2 + 2 is, and then take a pause, and then think slowly. 2. You count out on your fingers if it makes you go slower. 1, 2, and then you have 2 more, so that makes 3, 4. So 2 + 2 = 4. I think if you try to slow it down that much, like if you're learning something new, it'll help whatever sorrow is going on. This is the 3 of Swords, and the swords are of the mind. A lot of suffering, separation going on. But focus on your strength, and then pause to find clarity. Try to view the situation objectively and consider if it's really as bad as it seems. Perhaps it can teach you something. So I think this is comparable to like the caterpillar that goes into its, what's it called? It's not a cocoon, chrysalia or something like that. It's like, us that have seen the whole process and know the whole process, know that it's cool process. Caterpillar is about to turn into a butterfly. but I bet the caterpillar knows that it's gonna turn it into a butterfly. So I bet that situation in the caterpillar's point of view isn't as fun and beautiful as you may think it is, because he's literally just like shedding himself. He's literally dissolving into mush. And then out of nowhere he gets out and starts flying. But I bet he's not excited about turning into mush. Yep, this person can't see. Okay, so you are the caterpillar, and this is the point where you're turning into mush in your little cocoon. That's not a cocoon, but it's a cocoon. And yeah, obviously, the caterpillar can't see that it's a good thing that it's being dissolved, so it can turn into a butterfly. So try to see it from a different perspective. A perspective that whatever's going on right now is necessary for you to turn virtuous into a virtuous, beautiful butterfly. The Three of Wands. We got another 3. Interesting. Wands is of the will. So, like, if you can think of God as being still, then the will is like movement, causes movement. This is the Lord of Established Strength card, Soul and Aries. There's a lot of, fiery beginning energy. So all of this is like the fire, you're lighting the fire, and these are sparks that are gonna create this fire within you. This card represents the primal solar energy that first penetrates the soil in spring to awaken seeds that have slumbered all winter. The same thing with seeds, the seeds have to rupture so that the sprout can come out of the seed. If the seed doesn't break, then there is no flower. So along with the aces and twos, the other 2 cards representing the supernal triad of the Tree of Life, Crowley holds all the 3s in particular veneration. The aces are the unmanifest roots of their element and suit, and the 2s represent the element and suit manifested as ideas. But with the 3s, Crowley argues the idea has become fertilized, the triangle has become formulated, and in each case the idea is of a certain stability which can never be upset, but from which a child can issue. In tarot, that child is the remaining small cards, 4s through the 10s. So in each case, the idea is of a certain stability which can never be upset, but from which a child can issue. So this is kind of setting the stability that you're needing, so that something else can come forth. And it looks like it's you, fully evolved, powered up, the Queen of Swords, the Water of Air. The person symbolized by this card should be intensely perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, swift and accurate at recording ideas, an action confident, in spirit gracious and just. This card represents Crowley's sun sign, and so naturally, it is the most intimidating card in the deck. One look at this lady tells us she means business. Water of Air is suggestive of clouds that promise either life-giving rain or the threat of a torrential cloudburst. She holds the severed head of a bearded man in her left hand, and the sword that probably did the job in her right. One may think this grisly touch is just another gruesome Crowleyism, but it is not. This image is the classic Golden Dawn description of the Queen of Swords and makes a fundamentalistic Kabbalistic statement. The suit of swords represents Yetzirah, the formative world, the mind's eye of deity. Swords and Yetzirah's counterpart in the human soul is the Ruach, which is the intellect, which is centered in the brain, the human head. Using the sword of discretion and reason, The queen has separated the higher faculties of the intellect from the influences of the lower nature, or the animal soul. She is quite literally, Crowley points out, the liberator of the mind. The head is that of a bearded man, the hermit of Virgo perhaps, the eyes closed peacefully, this face suggesting the trance of deep meditation. There's a lot of deep meditation going on. And then, so if she is the liberator of the mind, that's what's going on here. That's how you're treating yourself right now because of whatever is going on. But this is the you that's going to come out from this birth. The influence of Virgo moving into Libra gives the Queen of Swords the practicality and grace of a great monarch. That's what's coming out of all of this, Taurus, and it sounds very much like your bull-headed ways. This native should be intensely perceptive, a keen observer, a subtle interpreter, an intense individualist, swift and accurate at recording ideas, in action confident, in spirit gracious and just. Her movements will be graceful and her ability in dancing and balancing exceptional. If ill-dignified, she can be as cruel and dangerous as she looks. A few Queen of Swords are Aleister Crowley, of course, and then Gandhi, Eleanor Roosevelt, H.G. Wells, and Stephen King were all born between September 12th to October 12th, which is where this card rules. Are you ready for your mind to be liberated, Taurus? Because I think you are ready. Yeah. This is a few words do the trick. I think the best words are liberator of the mind. This is no card. No. Telling the mind no more. You are gonna be yourself. Few words do trick. Liberate that mind of yours. Everything happens for a reason. Thank you for being here. See you next time.